So Knightsy, we're going to roll back the years now and remember your occasions against Southampton. You only really faced Southampton a handful of times. Did that make those matches more sweet because they were so few and far between?
Yeah, very much so. I think it's disappointing for me in the respect that I think actual League Cup games, I think I only had 4. I mean, obviously I had my testimonial as well, but only 4 real competitive games against the Saints, and they were always great games to play in for lots of reasons.
Taking you back to January 1988, and it's a 2-0 win at the Dell. You keep a clean sheet in the old First Division. How sweet was it, not only to win, but to win at their place as well?
Yeah, it was obviously very special, and it was a strange time for the club in general. On the way there, obviously it ended up being Mickey Kennedy's final game. Mick had told us on the bus on the way to the game, so it was a frustrating time. And to go to the Dell, for me to keep a clean sheet and then to go there and win 2-0, it was the highlight of that season. I've got to be perfectly honest, because we got relegated that year. I got my face smashed in at Wimbledon, so it was probably the only bright spark of a very disappointing season.
Like you said there, it was, a pretty checkered backdrop you're playing that game against. But where would you rank that match in your career as a whole on a personal level?
Yeah, it's up to be because of the stuff that I've said. It'll be up in my top 5 or 6, I would definitely say, along with like the cup run that we had with Liverpool. But as I said, there's special moments, obviously around the city, that passion that comes out from it, if it's kept obviously in check. And yeah, as a player, you get that, you understand that, and it makes it all that sweeter and more. Makes you more determined to go out there and perform for your team.
Of course, the game needs no motivation, but who was the most up for it in the changing room back when you were playing?
Bawley, the manager. No, everyone was. I mean, it was something that built up the. A bit like now, it was slowly built and everything focused towards that game. There's obviously games in between and you've got to be professional and look at that, but there was always that one. Everyone was looking at that game. And yeah, I mean, to be honest, as I said, in a weird way, getting the news about what was happening with Mickey Ken refocused us. And there was a general that we were going to do it for Mickey before he left. Mickey was obviously the leader of the side, led by example. And in a weird way, I think that did calm us down going into that game. We rode our luck a little bit, I would admit that, but you need that. But obviously the finish of Terry Connor calmed us down, and as I said, we went on and managed to get that 2-0 win.
Your testimonial, Pompey played Southampton. Did you always want to play Southampton, and what were your sort of memories in the run-up to that game?
Well, my testimonial was meant to be for that season when we did play Saints and obviously in the league, and we got my face smashed in at Wimbledon. So the game got cancelled, so I had to put it back. And as luck should have it, Jim Smith was manager at Pompey at the time. Alan Ball was manager at Southampton, so I got in touch with Bawley. So it was all in place for the end of the season. Unbeknown to me, Jim Smith had decided, end of that season, the team were going to go off to Greece to play in an end of season tournament. So it put the game in doubt. And as I said, I've been waiting a little while. I decided to go ahead with it. I spoke to Alan Ball. I said, Bawley, I'm going to have to get a bunch of the old boys together. Mark Haley agreed to come back, Neil Webb, Billy Gilbert, Blakey, Vince, and all the boys that played in that team we spoke about earlier. So I gave Bawley a heads up that it would be a weakened side because these boys had retired by then and it wouldn't be a proper competitive game. So Bawley, to give him his due, was as good as gold. He said, that'll be fine, just don't tell Laurie Mack, because I didn't think Laurie Menemy was going to be too happy that I was going to put out a weakened side. So we kept that one quiet. And as I say, I turned up for the game, met all the lads, and I was at the ground pretty early, and if I'm being perfectly honest, I didn't expect the attendance that I got. I mean, I was hoping for about 8,000, topping maybe 10. So by the time we'd all got together, there was a few people saying, "Christ, look at this crowd's unbelievable." I hadn't seen it, I hadn't gone down the tunnel. I had my daughters with me, and as I say, when I went out, and to have 18,000 there, it was, well, it took my breath away, hairs on the back and everything. It was amazing.
You're scared. I'm going to need mummy from somewhere.
And as I said, we had a bit of a weakened side, so the score was a little bit irrelevant. But fair play to Saints and Bawley. They played within the spirit of it. All in all, yeah, a nice occasion. And obviously I got to score a goal at the Fratton end. Thanks for Dave Bessance to tell me which side to put it. But yeah.
Bring it back to the present day, Knightsy, in British, European, even world football. Where would you rank the South Coast derby?
Well, I think you have to experience it. I really do. I think the lads that you spoke who have since played in them and scored those late goals, and you've spoken to them on camera, and they you cannot put it into words. I can only say what I said, to go there and win 2-0. I mean, we'd drawn at home 2-2, put on a decent-ish performance. You can't put it into words. It is something completely unique. And I know you have the Merseyside derbies, the Glaswegian ones, but for me, there's nothing better, and especially if you win. Unfortunately, I've played in a couple that lost, especially at their place 3-0 a little bit later on, and that was the worst week or two of my career, I've got to be honest. But you dust yourself down and you get on with it. But it will be a great occasion, definitely. These boys, when they play Saints in a couple of weeks, will or can put them into Portsmouth folklore and be legends for the rest of their life and into the future. That if they do what the guys you've just spoke about do, they'll be in living memory and beyond. So it's a great opportunity, and it's a great. A professional footballer, any footballer, wants to play in that sort of atmosphere, and it'll be fantastic. I'm very jealous of them. I wish I could still play in one.
And finally, Knightsy, where will you be watching the match on the 24th, and how much are you looking forward to that?
I'll be at Fratton Park. I'm not sure if I'll be on the radio or whatever, but I will be up at Fratton Park, cheering the boys on. I'm looking forward to what's going to be a great evening.